Are you feeling overwhelmed by the chaos of everyday life? Do you struggle to make clear decisions in the midst of uncertainty? In this video, we will explore the essence of Stoic teachings on clear thinking and how these principles can transform your mindset and approach to life. Lesson 1. Pay attention and keep things in order. The Stoics recognized this challenge, and they offered a number of strategies for managing and reducing the cognitive overload that can cloud our minds. One of these strategies is the practice of mental decluttering, which involves setting aside a few minutes each day for reviewing and simplifying our thoughts, goals, and commitments. We can identify and let go of the mental burdens that are no longer important or relevant, such as outdated to-do lists, unrealistic expectations, or petty grudges. By simplifying and streamlining our mental landscape, we can reduce the cognitive overload that clouds our minds and think more clearly and effectively. By preparing ourselves for the worst-case scenario, we can reduce anxiety and uncertainty and approach our thoughts and decisions with greater clarity and confidence. For example, we can imagine and plan for potential challenges and obstacles in our work or personal life, such as a difficult conversation with a colleague, a financial setback, or a health issue. By rehearsing and visualizing these scenarios, we can develop a more proactive and resilient approach to our thoughts and decisions, and reduce the cognitive overload that can arise from unexpected or unforeseen events. These strategies for managing and reducing cognitive overload, the Stoics also emphasized the importance of cultivating a sense of perspective and detachment in our approach to information and events. This involves adopting a view from above perspective, in which we imagine ourselves high above the world, looking down on our life and its challenges from a detached and objective perspective. By cultivating this sense of perspective and detachment, we can avoid getting lost in the details and distractions of daily life and approach our thoughts and decisions with a clearer and more objective mindset. We can also develop a greater appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the world, and for the interconnectedness and impermanence of all things. The Stoic principle of paying attention and keeping things in order is the importance of distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not. This involves recognizing that we cannot control the weather, the actions of others, or the fact of our own mortality, but we can control our own attitudes, choices, and responses. By keeping this distinction in mind, we can avoid wasting our mental energy on things we cannot change, and instead focus on what is within our power. We can also cultivate a greater sense of agency and responsibility in our approach to information and events, and develop a more proactive and resilient mindset. To put these Stoic principles and strategies into practice, we can start by setting aside a few minutes each day for a mental decluttering session, in which we review and simplify our thoughts, goals, and commitments. We can also practice the view from above technique, in which we imagine ourselves high above the world, looking down on our life and its challenges from a detached and objective perspective. We can cultivate the habit of premeditation of evils, in which we anticipate and rehearse potential setbacks and misfortunes, and develop a more proactive and resilient approach to our thoughts and decisions. We can also practice the art of distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not, and focus our mental energy and attention on what is within our power. By following these Stoic principles and strategies, we can cultivate a more mindful and disciplined approach to information and events, and develop a clearer and more objective mindset. We can also reduce the cognitive overload that can cloud our minds, and approach our thoughts and decisions with greater clarity, confidence, and resilience. Lesson 2. Understand how to process information. One of the key principles of Stoic information processing is the idea of the dichotomy of control. There are certain things in life that are within our control, such as our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and certain things that are outside of our control, such as the actions of others, natural disasters, and other external events. The Stoics believe that it is essential to focus our attention and energy on the things that are within our control, and to cultivate a sense of acceptance and detachment with regard to the things that are outside of our control. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of suspending judgment. This means that we should not immediately accept or reject the information that we receive, but should instead take a step back and carefully evaluate it before making a decision. The Stoics believe that it is essential to distinguish between the impressions that we receive from the world and the judgments that we make about those impressions. By suspending judgment and carefully evaluating the information that we receive, we can avoid the pitfalls of hasty and impulsive decision-making. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of cultivating a sense of inner tranquility in order to process information effectively. They believe that the human mind is naturally prone to disturbance and agitation, and that it is essential to develop a sense of inner calm and serenity in order to think clearly and effectively. One way to do this is to engage in the practice of mindfulness meditation, or the practice of focusing our attention on the present moment and cultivating a sense of awareness and acceptance. By developing a sense of inner tranquility, we can approach the challenges of life with a clear and focused mind and can process the information that we receive in a more effective and systematic manner. Self-reflection is essential to regularly examine our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and to strive to improve ourselves in every way possible. By engaging in the practice of self-reflection, we can develop a deeper and more nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and can approach the challenges of life with a clear and focused mind. The Stoics believe that it is essential to cultivate a sense of wisdom in order to process information effectively. They believe that wisdom is the ability to distinguish between what is truly important in life and what is merely trivial and insignificant. By cultivating a sense of wisdom, we can approach the challenges of life with a clear and focused mind, and can process the information that we receive in a more effective and systematic manner. By focusing our attention and energy on the things that are within our control, suspending judgment, engaging in mental rehearsal, cultivating a sense of inner tranquility, engaging in self-reflection, and cultivating a sense of wisdom, we can approach the challenges of life with a clear and focused mind, and can process the information that we receive in a more effective and systematic manner. Lesson 3. Increase understanding. The first strategy for increasing understanding, according to the Stoics, is to cultivate self-awareness. The Stoics recognize that our own beliefs, assumptions, and biases can cloud our understanding of the world, and that a clear and accurate understanding of ourselves is essential for overcoming these obstacles. To cultivate self-awareness, the Stoics advocated a number of practices, including reflection, journaling, and meditation. They believe that by turning our attention inward and examining our own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we can gain valuable insights into our own beliefs and assumptions, and identify the areas where our understanding is flawed or incomplete. The second strategy for increasing understanding, according to the Stoics, is to practice critical thinking. The Stoics recognized that the world is complex and dynamic, and that our understanding of it is always provisional and subject to revision. They believe that a critical and skeptical approach to our beliefs and assumptions is essential for ensuring that our understanding is accurate and up-to-date. To practice critical thinking, the Stoics advocated a number of strategies, including the use of logic and reason, the examination of evidence and arguments, and the consideration of alternative perspectives and explanations. They believe that by engaging in this rigorous and systematic analysis of our beliefs and assumptions, we can identify and correct the errors and distortions that cloud our thinking and arrive at a clearer and more accurate understanding of the world. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This counsel suggests that we can increase our understanding and effectiveness by focusing on the things that we can control and influence, and by adapting and responding to the things that we cannot. By practicing critical thinking and analyzing the causes and consequences of the events and phenomena that we encounter, we can gain a deeper and more nuanced understanding of the world and identify the areas where our understanding is incomplete or flawed. The third strategy for increasing understanding, according to the Stoics, is to engage in perspective taking. The Stoics recognize that our own perspective and point of view can limit and distort our understanding of the world, and that a broader and more inclusive approach to our beliefs and assumptions is essential for overcoming these obstacles. To engage in perspective-taking, the Stoics advocated a number of practices, including empathy, compassion, and open-mindedness. They believed that by imagining ourselves in the shoes of others, by seeking to understand and appreciate their beliefs and assumptions, and by remaining open and receptive to new and unfamiliar ideas, we can gain a broader and more inclusive understanding of the world and identify the areas where our own perspective is limited or flawed. By cultivating self-awareness and examining our own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we can gain valuable insights into our own beliefs and assumptions and identify the areas where our understanding is flawed or incomplete. By practicing critical thinking and engaging in a rigorous and systematic analysis of our beliefs and assumptions, we can identify and correct the errors and distortions that cloud our thinking and arrive at a clearer and more accurate understanding of the world. And by engaging in perspective-taking and seeking to understand and appreciate the beliefs and assumptions of others, we can gain a broader and more inclusive understanding of the world and identify the areas where our own perspective is limited or flawed. By cultivating a mindful and disciplined approach to our thoughts and perceptions, by developing a systematic and critical approach to processing information, by striving for a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of the world, and by eliminating the obstacles and distractions that cloud our minds, we can think more clearly, wisely, and effectively. May these lessons inspire and guide you on your own path to clear thinking and inner tranquility, and may the wisdom of the Stoics continue to illuminate and enrich our lives.